Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Hardspace Shipbreaker. So, today, let me have a look at my equipment real quick. Oh, repair. Alright, we'll have to remember to buy some kits when we get in there. Today we're going to have a look at a suggestion that's been floated a couple of times. I can't remember your name, sorry. The idea of peeling the back of the ship away and potentially tethering the thrusters in such a way that when I pull the release valve, they fling out the back anyway. So even if we fuck the puzzle, that they're safe. It's an interesting solution to the problem, right? It's my kind of solution because it's almost brute force. It's like, well, fuck it. If we can't circumvent the puzzle in some clever way, let's just tear the entire fucking ass out and rubber band the things out so it's break proof anyway. So it's not even about solving the puzzle. It's about, fuck it, we can fail the puzzle and we'll still win. So I approve. The problem with this, well, I'll definitely do it, but I suppose the issue is all of this effort is going towards a $50,000 question, right? What's worth $50,000? It's the key that isolates the system. If any of this ends up costing more than 50 grand, you know, across the board to get these thrusters out without using the key, then at a certain point you're just better off using the key. And I think trying to cut the back open in such a way to allow the thrusters to come out fast is probably going to be too time intensive, you know, and you could draw a direct correlation between the time you spend in one shift and the $50,000 deficit or credit related to that key for isolation. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, we're still going to have a bit of a look. I guess it doesn't really matter what ship we do this on. Let's do it on a one of the old cargo ships, me favourites. So my first thought was to sort of burrow out the plates on the back, but then I realised that that's probably not going to work because we've tried something like that before.
Thank you for your purchase. Thank you for your purchase. Thank you.
Albeit on a smaller scale. It's only $4,500 for one of those kits. Crazy. Anyway, so we'll head out to the back first. Right, so we're going to have a look here, and you can see straight away, here are these plates, right? Oh, okay, we're going to have to get the oxygen out of the equation. The problem is, they are so precisely machined, essentially. So the size, it's sort of a square, you know, that I don't think, like, if I were to tether straight back to here and it's not a straight line, I really don't think it will speed out, because that's the whole idea. As soon as we pull the hand release valve, we're going to need the thing to just jet away, because if there's a fault, it won't explode. It won't get the thruster. So the thruster caps are out of the question as an option. So
airlock pressure levels dropping.
However, like, what part of the problem do you want to interrogate there, you know? Because we could potentially make the thruster cap openings wider, you know? And then that meets back on the menu, you know? Or you can look at doing something else altogether.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Right, so let's consider. Because if you try and pull this entire back section away, and look at this, fucking, can't cut that. Can't cut that. Well, you can cut that. You know, well, let's start, keep it simple, stupid sort of idea, right? So none of them are attached to the back wall. They float freely. So the only other connection really should be this. Let's see how hard it springs off. If at all. Well, I should still be able to move this with my big square head. Which I can. So where do we want this to go? Probably straight backwards if we can help it. Yeah, no, this will be the approach. I'm going to make a little head hole. However, this is 24,000. It's 24 ton. Which means tethers won't move it. You wouldn't want it to suddenly push back the other way, straight out of a horror movie getting squished, eh? Alright. Alright, it's not going to be interested in pulling away there. It's too heavy. So, what we could do is try and split it off. Go the... How far out? Can we like tether out to that? No. Right. Not quite. Right, so it's 3 cuts. Oops, lucky we didn't hit the fuel then. 1, 2... 3, right? Well, that zipped away immediately, didn't it? Alright, and they're just slowly sort of pulling away. Bugger, I just cancelled all my lines. So, I guess you could probably speed this process up, what I'm doing right now. But there you go. So this is the sort of scenario that was suggested, right? Alright, well, these tethers do now hold for like 2 minutes or something. So they've got a lot of time in them. Alright, here we go, I suppose.
Component incinerated. Penalty has been applied.
Ah, fuck off. Oh, I'm dead. I must have got exploded immediately. It's, I don't know if you, like, it's hard to tell in the moment, but it sprung me backwards off the handle.
Valuable component destroyed. Penalty applied.
Whoops. Fuck you, come on. Well, it sort of worked. How did that kill me? You know what I mean? Just that one explosion. That's crazy. Well, I mean, I guess it's worked. 7 minutes. A lot of piss farting around, but you like, my point is we could do it slower.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Well, isn't that something? No meltdown yet either. All this time I assumed the core's got to go first. And still reference back to what I've been discussing recently a lot is just the risk-reward component of blowing up the core. This is tough because we might be able to come up with a good system of getting these thrusters out early, but you don't really want to risk accidentally blowing up the core and then going to 5 frames per second and having to play with that. Do an old-fashioned kidney pull here. The old OG airlock one.
Salvage destroyed. Please revisit your training.
Fuck you. Oh, I didn't cut that one. Can I still squeeze through? There you go. Still got full health as well.
Reactor meltdown triggered. Action urgently required.
Cutter, there's 5 minutes remaining in this shift.
Stay out of the furnace,
Get while
please.
the getting's good. We wrap.
Salvage deposit.
Okay.
Credits transferred.
Well, despite my skepticism, I think we could actually be onto something with the original suggestion. You know, I love to eat humble pie when I'm wrong. It's the only way you get better. Now, sadly, because we picked this platform, we're sort of practicing on the wrong thing. But, nonetheless, let's get some value out of these last moments. Oh, this will be a good test for how the cockpit works now. Like, it feels like they've welded the cockpit back on or something. That wouldn't surprise me. The whole... we come up with something clever and the developers just patch it out. I'd feel for the speed running community the most. Like, I don't give a fuck. I sort of try and go faster because it's a game, because it's fun.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Was that? But, yeah. Imagine if this was what you did. You Twitch streamed 8 hours a day, speed running this or whatever, however they do it. There you go, look, it's not attached. It seemed like it was attached on the other hull. But yeah, that'd be infuriating if the devs just kept fucking patching out things that you came up with that are clever. And you know it's because they're watching you stream. So they're watching you stream, they're watching you speedrun, basically bug fix for you, doing QA for free. They're watching you. They're not donating. They're not shouting out or giving you credits or anything. And then as you come up with clever things, they're fucking removing them from the game. That's very much what it seems like. So I'd be a tad unimpressed if that was my jam. Even if it was your sort of hobby collector thing. You know, I'm sure there's some guys out there and this is all they play. Probably play the weekly challenges and yeah, I'm not judging.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Heat spreader. What happens if I burn this side of the wall? You still attached, Mr. Heat Spreader? Alright, now we attempted to test this last time,
Processing value.
but I fucked up because it's mapped to the same button.
Deposit not accepted.
People that say, just remap it. It's like, are you insane? Consider that the game designers chose to have a button like this, which is designed exclusively to destroy fragile things in circumstances, and having the pick up fragile things on the same button. The fact that you're like, it's very dismissive to just go, just remap it. It's like, no, you're missing the point. It's not actually about me and the remap and my controller. It's about the fact that they fundamentally designed it to do that, which is bad. That's humongously bad. That's a company-sized decision. Alright. I suppose, what I'm getting at, and that didn't seem to work then, is that to suggest to remap the controls is to band-aid the problem. Whereas, if you've watched me for any amount of episodes, you know I like to talk out the problems and try and get to the source. You know, the developer's wrong, am I wrong? Is there a cultural issue? Am I missing something? You know, I unpack all the different angles. And to just go, just remap the controls. It's like, wow, you're not even engaging with the problem that I posited in the first place. Anyway, maybe that helps shed some light on whomever it was that felt that was an appropriate response to what I was saying. Alright. So they're probably the big ticket items. What we got? 15 seconds. That's not bad. I mean, there's the cargo in this specific hull, but just broadly speaking, I would say we just harvested all the big Chad items that you're going to get on a ship, basically, right? ECU, power center, thrusters, core. That's it, basically. 5.5 million without really breaking a sweat. Yeah, 1.3 for the thrusters. Power generators 300. ECUs 240. See, 300,000 just from some random bloody 400,000 from some random nanocarbon. It's too overpriced. It should not be worth that much. No way known. For the life of me, I don't know why they don't have something like almost like a copper wire scenario. Some sort of wiring or something like that that's just decaled, like, from a design perspective, just stuck onto the walls, right? But is fairly valuable, but has to go to a separate place to salvage than the processor. I wonder if they'll add other things on, because the furnace doesn't process anything. It just destroys stuff. But if you need to create an incentive to sort of like cut aluminium out of the carbon panel, but you have no incentive because the carbon's so expensive and the aluminium is just not. And that's why I don't even engage with the aluminium. It doesn't happen so much nowadays. Most people are quick to it, but back in the old days, people would just be like, bro, you need to harvest the aluminium. And I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? So I can get 15 cents? Very good. Very good. Give me some investment advice, please. But I jest, I poke and prod. Okay, so that was alright. We might head back to the scrapper ship, I think, the next time to see how we go. But yeah, color me humbled, right? Remember the intro to this video, I was basically going on, I don't think it's going to work, I think it's going to be a fuck around, it's going to be too much of an effort, and even just moving at a sort of leisurely pace, we managed to peel the back off a lot easier than I thought I was. So I humble myself before you, dear commentor that suggested this, because it seems like a pretty shit-hot suggestion, which is to say it's a good one. So we might explore that a bit more in the future. Okay, cool. Team, thanks again for joining me. We might just leave it there for the time being, and I will catch you guys on the next one.